I would never, I would never bite the hand that feeds me, ever. Never, ever. I wouldn't do it. But hey, whatever. I cannot get behind a podium and wish death on anyone. I can't do that. That is not free speech. That is hate speech.
Stop fucking lying.
One of my neighbors.
You threatened to kill someone? I hope you weren't doing that live on camera.
Of course I was. Of course I was. If I could reach through this camera right now and grab a hold of these motherfuckers, they would not be long for this earth, brother.
Just keep on lying. Damn. Peace.
I cannot get on the internet and say that VonHelton is a pedophile. Not without proof. Why? Because that is hate speech. And not only is it hate speech, it's also slander, libel, and defamation. And it rises to the level of criminal defamation when people's lives are in danger. Right? You follow me? So no, I'm sorry, but hate speech is a thing. And free speech is not what you think it is. Free speech is not the internet. Sorry, it's not. I know, believe me, nothing pisses me off more than getting banned from YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. The problem is, though, is that they're right. There is no expectation of freedom of speech because freedom of speech, as defined by the Constitution, is simply the ability to speak out against the government without being jailed or killed. That is free speech. That's all it is. It is not about getting on the internet, calling people this, that, and the other thing. These trolls on YouTube, they love to run around saying, we got free speech. We can call VonHelton whatever we want to. No, actually you can't, because that's not free speech. It's not even fair use, let alone free speech. Because free speech, as defined by the Constitution, is your ability to speak out against the government without being jailed or killed. Am I the government? No, I am not. Likewise, I can't get on here and say Brett Keane sucks my dick. I can't do that. Why? Because that's not free speech. That's hate speech. And it might be even terroristic threatening if it rises to the level of putting someone's life in danger. Say like maybe 3 innocent little children who haven't been able to come home for the last 2 years. Would it rise to the level of criminal defamation at that point? Yes. As a matter of fact, it does. Isn't that interesting? Why? Because innocent lives are in danger as a result. So it's no longer defamation. It's now criminal defamation, which means it went from a misdemeanor to a felony. Imagine that. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? But yeah, there is no expectation of freedom of speech anywhere on the internet. And there never has been. Because that's not what freedom of speech is. Not your right to get on the internet and talk shit about VonHelton or G-Man or Brett Keane or John Gishila or anybody else for that matter. That is not free speech. And like I said, it's slander, libel, and defamation. Now, YouTube has supported these internet trolls, and so has Google. But I got a funny feeling those things are going to change. Call it a hunch, but I got a funny feeling those things are going to change. In any event, but yeah, there is no expectation of freedom of speech in that regard. The only expectation of freedom of speech you have is that you will not be jailed or killed for speaking out against the government. That's it. That's it. As defined by the Constitution. Anything else is not free speech, it's hate speech. Bon, you can't be serious. Well, I'm sorry, but I am. As someone who is a truther, and as someone who is a constitutionalist, and as someone who is a historian, I can assure you that that is free speech. Free speech is your ability to speak out against the government, not against other people, not against institutions, not against anything. You can only speak out against the government. Do I look like the government to you? No. No. Although I have run for political office, I'm not the government. So anything you say about me can and will be used against you in a court of law. Remember those lines that the police give? Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Why do they say that? Because there is no expectation of freedom of speech, you morons. Not when it comes to individuals or even corporations. Your only right to speak out is against the government. That's it. So every one of these motherfuckers that get on the internet and say Von Helton is a pedophile, Von Helton beat his wife, Von Helton raped his kids, Von Helton killed his mom, Von Helton did... What is that? That's hate speech. And it might even rise to the level of terroristic threatening. But for sure it's hate speech. It is not free speech. It never has been. As defined by the Constitution of the United States, it has never been free speech. The only freedom of speech guaranteed to you by the Constitution is your right to speak out against the government without being jailed or killed. That's it. Everything else is either slander, libel, defamation, or hate speech. That's it. Sorry. What do you want me to say? I mean, seriously, what do you want me to say? You want me to get on here and tell you a convenient lie? I'm sorry, I can't do that. Sorry, I can't do that. I have to tell the truth. And that is the truth. So for years, all these people getting on the internet calling Von Helton this and Von Helton that. Slander, libel, defamation. And like I said, when innocent little children are involved, it rises to the level of criminal defamation, which is no longer a misdemeanor. It is now a felony. Get it straight, trolls, haters, and naysayers, because there might be a quiz later. There might be a quiz later. Call it a hunch, but there might be a quiz later. Provided any of you are left alive, of course, because apparently the gods are wiping you motherfuckers out faster than I can arraign you. Which is kind of disconcerting, actually, because I really need the money. Anyway, the point is that you're being dealt with either by the gods or by me, but you will be dealt with, I assure you. I assure you, you will be. But yeah, I mean, for those of you that are clueless, you have no expectation of freedom of speech anywhere about anything other than your ability to speak out against the government. You can say whatever you want about the government, and it's legal, and it's free speech. I am not the government. John Gashila is not the government. Brett Keane is not the government. G-Man is not the government. Veckel is not the government. So when you speak out against those people, you are not exercising freedom of speech. No, you're fucking not. I don't give a damn what YouTube says. I don't give a damn what Google says. I don't give a damn what anyone says. The Constitution says that the only expectation of freedom of speech is your ability to speak out against the government. That's it. Everything else is slander, libel, defamation, or hate speech. Sorry. Sorry about your luck. And you could twist this all you want in your brain, and it ain't going to change a damn thing, because the law is the law. Sorry.